Yo, what is up? So, some big news about AMD. So I've just finished watching Fabio's channel. What I've found is it is actually not working in all the games, which is a bit unfortunate. But it could have. I mean, I'm quite unlucky like that. But I did try in Star Wars Outlaws, didn't work. Stellar Blade didn't work. That was the first game I tried. So I didn't have any luck. I've tried in Wu Chang, didn't work. So it looks like Optiscaler is still going to be the best way, mostly if you can't get into a game. But it did work in this, The Last of Us Part 2. And so I'm not sure because I did see a few games. I'm wondering if it's the games actually shout in the menu. But I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't even begun to test it out enough. But I thought I'd just make this video as a just sort of a recap how to install it and all that. So what you got to do, go to Google Explorer or whatever. You will need to search AMD SDK FidelityFX. So it will be this website here, the first one that comes up. Then you will have to download this package here, SDK 2.0. So then once it's downloaded, it will be in your downloads in your C drive, and then you just basically you will get this folder, FidelityFX SDK. So you just open it up, kits, FidelityFX, bin, and it will be these three files. So you just drag them into. What I did is I made a folder on my desktop. It seems logical. I just pasted them all in there. So just dragged them over, and that was it. So there is one thing you got to remember, and that is to delete. So you got to rename this one the loader file, and just delete that. And then you just paste all the three files into where the shipping file usually is. So I've done it with. I'll show you how to do it with this game. So it's pretty simple on this one, so you don't have to go in any other folder. So you just paste the three files into this folder, and so that one is in there. See, I'll put the file that's already in there. Before you paste them three files in, before you do that, you want to find this FidelityFX underscore DX12 file, because it's named the same file, but you want to rename it and just put .ode basically, .ode, and then it just deactivates that file basically, and then it uses the FSR 4.0.2 file. But as I said, it doesn't look like it's going to work. I mean, I've literally picked 3 games and I couldn't get it to work. So I don't know. Only time will tell with that, because it definitely didn't work in that. I've got some footage I'll show. But so I did have a bit of footage of The Last of Us Part 2. So we'll have a look at that, but that is how you install it. So as I said, I'll just leave the files there. But if it's not working, you will have to continue with the Optiscaler. So another thing I wasn't sure about is it actually working properly when you update these files? Because I did notice in Fabio's video it did look pretty bad. So I don't know if it's actually working properly at the moment. Is it ready to literally update a game? I'm not sure, but you'll have to let me know, or I'll have a look myself when I get some more time. So now I'm having a look at Stellar Blade here. So I'm just showing footage because I did record it and then found out it weren't working. So I thought I'd just put all the footage I recorded previously. So it was still coming up with FSR 3 in the menu. I did try out in the game and it didn't look like it was on at all, because it looks worse than what I've seen with FSR 4.0.2, because the hair was still shimmering. So it actually just looked like it was on FSR 3, to be honest. So it definitely weren't working. and so I had to look in Outlaws, pretty much the same thing. I put the files in, and it just come up with FSR 3 in the menu. So I was expecting every game to just change to FSR 4, but that wasn't the case. So the one after this was actually Wu Chang, and I did actually go into the gameplay. I didn't check this one with the gameplay because I just felt like Cellarblade, it weren't working. So I just thought, trust me to pick 2 games where it's not working. So no luck with Cellarblade or Outlaws. So Wu Chang was the next one, and so I don't know if it's going to depend at the moment on some certain game engines. I don't know, but this one always just says FSR anyway, so I thought I'd just go in there and try it. So, but it was pretty obvious to me it wasn't working because it looked pretty bad. I mean, with the vegetation was shimmering really bad. So, I mean, I imagine it was FSR, just the FSR 3. So I don't understand. I mean, I have actually tried this already with the Optiscaler files because I thought I'd just paste it in, but it didn't work. Although it does update the file, so I will show you in DLSS Swapper. You do get the FSR4 file, but it doesn't seem to work within the game. Yet Optiscaler does with the test build. So I'm not sure why, but it just seems like, I mean, maybe AMD or the developers need to do something their side for it to work. Once you put the files in, I'm not sure. But it was definitely, I mean, the first thing I noticed is I looked at the ground and the quality was bad, really bad with the vegetation. So that is 100% not FSR 4.0.2. No chance. I mean, it looks like FSR 3 to be honest, when I'm looking at it. So all the FSR 4 versions would be a lot better than that. So it's not working. And I did, as I said, I watched Fabio's video, and I'm not totally convinced if this is working, this method. I'm not sure, but again, people have to tell me. As you can see, I'm showing the files have updated, but so I will have a look. I mean, because I know that the Optiscaler version of FSR 4.0.2 is really good. So if I check, all I've got to do is check a game that I've looked at, like Stellar Blade, which I mean I've already seen it weren't working in that, but I've just got to check a game out to see if it's actually working how it should. So a game that maybe Mafia, if it actually comes up in the menu, I can see. So I know the difference is just a game I've already looked at to see if this way of doing it, just pasting the files in, actually works properly. But so I had a little look at this because I had a limited time. I didn't have a great look, but it seemed to look alright once this actually updated it to FSR 4.0.2. And I haven't actually had a look at this game, but I thought I had a feeling this would work. Because, as I said, these games where you have the launcher, like the PlayStation titles, it shows it to update. And another one I was thinking about was Yakuza, Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I noticed when I updated with Optiscaler, it actually showed FSR 4.0.0. That was one of the first games actually I've done on my channel. So I'm pretty sure if I do it on that, I think the file will just update to 4.0.2. So it might just depend on the engine at the moment, and then AMD will need to sort of improve it to work in every engine. I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't really got experience of working with engines and all that, so I'm not totally sure. So, but anyway, it did work in this, so that was something. So we're just going to have to see what games work and what don't, and then in the games where it don't work, just use Optiscaler. I mean, I do really like Optiscaler. It doesn't really bother me that this isn't working because I'm just using that anyway, and I just really like using it anyway, Optiscaler. because as I've said, the frame generation just, there's a lot of games where it don't work. Obviously it would be easier if we could just paste 3 files in though, so hopefully this method does improve, and it just, you just go into the game and it shows you FSR 4.0.2, but it might even be working, but it's not working correctly, because that Robocop game did look really bad, and then when I went into WeChain I saw the same sort of shimmering, so it doesn't look like it's working properly if it is updating it. So it could be implementing it, but it's just looking so bad you don't think it's working, so I don't know. So it's something I'm going to have to probably look into when I get some time over the weekend or whenever. But this is literally how you install it anyway. So although Fabio did chat, I thought I'd just do another video and tell you my experience of what's going on with it. So that seemed to look alright. I didn't notice any shimmering in this game. I did have a look at the vegetation. So I will have to try up to scale on this game as well, just to see if there's any differences. So this was on the quality mode. One thing I don't like about the Sony games is they try and force that dynamic resolution on you, and then you got to change all the settings, so that's why it took a bit longer. Anyway, that's it for me, so thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.